What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right. So, uh, yesterday it was announced that Gary Trent Jr. turned down the opportunity to play with LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers and instead signed with the Milwaukee Bucks. He will be replacing Malik Beasley, who I believe has signed with the Detroit Pistons after a year playing with the Lakers. I'll speak about Malik Beasley a little bit later on. But he's just the latest in a long line of NBA players who have rejected playing with the Lakers. And in particular, even though the media won't talk about it, they don't want to play with LeBron James because they know pretty much what we've been saying on social media for years, that it doesn't really benefit players to sign with LeBron, sign with the Lakers or sign with LeBron James that the Lakers pretty much are right now. Look, I think Russell Westbrook was the straw that broke the camel's back when it comes to NBA players. Okay, there have been other guys since then, but not on the same level. And this is why I think guys don't want to play with LeBron James. Okay, and I'll get to the long list of players, and this isn't a complete list. There's other, probably more fringe players that have turned down Lakers as well. But generally speaking, I think players don't want to play with this guy because of you will always be blamed if things don't go right. And judging from the Lakers' performances since the bubble year, things won't go right. The Lakers are not projected to be a powerhouse in the NBA or the Western Conference. It's pretty much been relegated to a cult of personality. This is a guy, LeBron, that promised to bring the Lakers back to respectability. Only thing that's happened over the past several years is, although they did get that bubble title, that was more about him. He didn't say, I'm glad that I won this championship for the Lakers. I brought it. He made it about him. I want my respect. I, me. Now it's just a cult thing. You know, it's a cult of personality. It's the long goodbye, the farewell tour. Not about the Lakers anymore. And real Laker fans are really struggling right now. So you will get blamed. You're going to get the blame if things don't go right, which most likely they are. He will get no blame whatsoever when things go wrong. But when things go right, he will get all of the praise, and you will get none of the praise from the media. And he has the power. He's not a dictator, but he does have considerable power. He can go on social media and shout out guys, shout out his teammates. But he can actually change the conversation as far as television and on social media. But he chooses not to. You know, when Danny Green was getting death threats from deranged lunatics because he missed a shot in the game, this guy could have easily got on his social media platforms and shut that down. You remember when deranged lunatics tried to storm the Capitol some years ago, their leader did actually try to go out there and say something, even though he was forced to do it, right? Their leader said something. This guy, he won't do it because he really doesn't care. In his eyes, attention and publicity is all good, whether it's good or bad. I think the even bigger reason why a lot of guys won't sign with the Lakers is the financial impact. Russell Westbrook signed with the Lakers as a $40 million per year guy. Now, don't get me wrong. He didn't play that well, but he didn't play that bad either. I think the guy averaged 18, 7, and 7 in that 1.5 year stint with the Lakers. Most players would kill for that numbers. But the media had you thinking that this guy was the second coming of Well, Bronny James. It's funny how Bronny James is being given pats on the back by the media for running through screens, but Russell Westbrook, NBA former MVP, 4 times averaging a triple-double in the NBA, 25,000 points, and if he plays long enough, perhaps 10,000 assists, which will make him right now only the second guy to do that after LeBron James. But the media, led by Skip Worthless and Shannon Not So Sharp, made him a running joke, a gag, to the point where financially he's making role player veteran money. I think that's the biggest reason why a lot of these guys choose not to play with this man. So there's a long list of players who have rejected playing with LeBron, not just LeBron in LA. LaMarcus Aldridge, back in 2015, is one of the better power forwards in the NBA. And in the 2015 offseason, he had a chance to join LeBron James in Cleveland and make them a super team. Matter of fact, I believe LeBron was leading overtures to LaMarcus Aldridge to do just that. He turned it down to play with the San Antonio Spurs. In 2021, LaMarcus Aldridge, by this point in time, had deteriorated into more of a role player, was being seduced by the media to join LA, but he chose instead to play with the Brooklyn Nets. Blake Griffin in 2017, near the end of his prime, had a chance to join LeBron James. I believe they would have been in Cleveland at the time, turned it down, signed with the Detroit Pistons. That's when he was with the Clippers, signed with the Pistons. In 2021, as a role player, he could have joined LA, turned it down, and joined the stacked Brooklyn Nets. Jimmy Butler in 2019, fresh off a stint with the Philadelphia 76ers, could have joined LeBron Ramon James in LA. Remember, you might recall there was media overtures back then for him to join LA. You know, the constant, back when they always show him with a Lakers jersey superimposed next to LeBron with a hand on their hips. Oh, the possibilities. Oh, the circle jerk by the media. Oh, man, this could be a great team. Jimmy Butler was having none of that, and he signed with the Miami Heat. Chris Paul over the years, multiple times, Chris Paul had opportunities to play with LeBron James, and every time he turned it down. He knew the deal. Paul George. Remember, several years ago, Paul George was receiving overtures to sign in LA. He chose to re-sign with OKC, and then ultimately he snaked Russ and he was going to sign with OKC, but then ultimately he went and signed with the Clippers. But he didn't want any parts of LA and LeBron Ramon James. Kyrie Irving, multiple times since he departed ways with LeBron in Cleveland back in 2017 via trade. All of a sudden, the media, which vilified him in so many different ways, now all of a sudden want him to play with LeBron in LA. Nah, I'll sign with Dallas. And it paid off, went to the NBA Finals. Kawhi Leonard, I remember back in 2019, there were all these overtures. LeBron said, man, if you sign with LA, the team will be yours in 2 or 3 seasons, which ended up being a goddamn lie because here it is 6 years later, about 5 years later, I guess, and LeBron still wants the keys. It's still the person, it's still the cult of personality in LA around LeBron. So wise decision, at least from a financial standpoint, not to sign with LA. Kevin Durant. There have been multiple times over this past several years where KD could have linked up with LeBron as recently as this past year as far as trades. Remember, Kevin Durant and Chris Paul are superstars, so they had the ability to even force trades. They had that type of power. Nothing doing. Remember, this just recently, a couple of weeks ago, It was just pushed that, oh, let's trade Kevin Durant to the Suns. I mean, to the Lakers from the Suns, or LA from LeBron from LA to the Suns. Nah, it didn't happen. And Klay Thompson, of course, despite the fact that his father played with the Lakers, despite the fact that they would have kept him in California, despite the fact that I think he would have made more money. Yeah, matter of fact, he would have made more money. He didn't want any parts of the Lakers and LeBron. Did you know that the Lakers said that Klay Thompson wouldn't be offered a starting position if he played there? Wow. Anyway, as we all know, he went to Dallas. I mentioned Malik Beasley earlier. Malik Beasley, last year, off of a year playing with the Lakers, turned down more money to re-sign with LA to sign with Milwaukee. Buddy Hield, of course, multiple times over the last several years, has been linked to LA and how much they want him and how much he'll fill that void of that shooter that LeBron desperately needs, since usually he can't knock down open shots. Although this past year he did shoot at a 41% clip. He turned them down and signed with the Warriors. DeMar DeRozan, multiple times, has been pressured by the media to sign with LA and be that. Even though I think he'd be not a good fit there, but multiple times they've requested, or they've pressured him to consider the Lakers, or how much of a great super team would be with DeMar DeRozan. Well, he did go to California, but it was with the Sacramento Kings via trade. KCP, let's bring back KCP. He was on the bubble squad. Let's bring back KCP. Well, he signed with the Orlando Magic. Even coaches are into the act because they don't want to play with LeBron James and that fraud JJ Redick. Dan Hurley turned down a bigger contract to coach the headache that the Lakers would have been to stay with UConn. Dwayne Casey, former NBA Coach of the Year, turned down being on JJ Redick's assistant coaching staff, as did Phil Handy and Sam Cassell. So, Laker fans, real true Laker fans, I send my condolences as far as the season is concerned. I think the Lakers are probably going to go something like, I put it like this. There's going to be cheating involved. You know how they do with the free throws and the calls. So even though with all of that, I think this year the Lakers will go more because the West is going to be stronger. I give them 37-45 this year. 37-45. That's what the inflation with the free throws, but they always ironically lead every year. And all of the beneficial calls they will get. Without all of that, if it was just called a fair game, I think the Lakers wouldn't even win 30 games. I think they'll go like 27-54 or something, So I think all of that will net them about 10 wins. But I think they're going to miss the playoffs, and, they're going to conveniently change the narrative to, well, LeBron is older. This Laker team isn't that talented, even though it's the same roster from last year, which magically was supposed to have been the deepest team in NBA history, or Lakers history, which was a lie. And they're gonna soften expectations, lower expectations for JJ Redick, as will LeBron's fans. Magically, they're going to be patient with JJ Redick. All of the fire Darvin Ham talk from last year, magically, except for real Laker fans, LeBron fans are going to show their true colors, pun intended, and they're going to be real patient with JJ. Oh, man, he ain't got the team, man. You got to look. No, I mean, which one's the darkest player? Which one's the darkest player so I can blame him? You got to blame Rui Hachimura. Rui, man, he ain't making his money, man. He earning his money, man. He ain't earning it, bro. He ain't, man. He ain't getting it done, man. JJ, man, that guy, man, he's pure as driven snow, bro. You can't blame him. He doing his best, man. He high IQ, but if the players ain't high IQ, they can't implement what his IQ doing. You see what I'm saying? His high IQ can only push you up so high. You know, you got these low IQ dudes on there. The high IQ can't be high IQ. Fuck out of here.